What it do, everybody? The Who That Nation. It's the one and only Who Dat Davis here for you. And as always, if you don't know, you will know that over here we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. And thank you guys for checking out this edition of the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast. Hope you guys are enjoying your Monday as much as you can enjoy it. But if you're a Saints fan, then you're probably feeling like this right now. And rightfully so. The New Orleans Saints, for the homecoming part dos, have lost in overtime to the New York Giants. What they go-ahead touchdown to running back Saquon Barkley. And this game has some up and downs from offense, defense, even special teams look pretty. We're going to break down everything, but we're going to start with the head honcho, Sean Payton. And the question of the day is Sean Payton holding Jameis Winston back? I would say, in my personal opinion, the answer is yes. We're going to get into why. Sean Payton, for whatever reason, according to Ross Jackson, you look over at Ross Jackson Nola on Twitter, Jameis Winston had a quarter's length of time where he did not even get to throw the football. Sean Payton adapted this of not losing games. When they went up 21-10 with less than 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, his philosophy was to run the football, take the ball out of Jameis Winston's hands, and hopefully you win that way. That type of formula is not going to work every game. And then they saw the Giants, I would say. They saw what they had when they were going up against Paul Debo, who really looked like a rookie. This was his first bad game under his belt. That really meh. It's meh. Not a good look for Paul Debo. Now, there are some goods, but we're gonna get into the good in a minute. But Sean Payton, for whatever reason, took the ball out of Jameis Winston's hands and it's a head scratcher. Everything starts with the coaching, and this is all on Sean Payton. I wouldn't say all, but most of it. Him and Dennis Allen get equal blame, but I'll get to Dennis Allen in a moment. Sean Payton is not trying to win these games, but he's not trying to lose them either. He's not winning them. He's just trying to get by into the bye week, and for whatever reason, he's not trusting Jameis Winston to do what he needs to do with the football. You saw yesterday, we all saw yesterday, what the pass catchers look like when they get into a rhythm. Marquez Callaway went 2 for 74, and he had more opportunities because he was killing James Bradbury on a couple of different looks, such as 3rd and 9, when they were down in Giants territory. He had 2 steps on James Bradbury that could have went for a slam, but Jameis Winston fitted the ball on an over-under route to Ty Montgomery. Now, that's a good decision. I'm fine with it. It was a positive play. But that's just something that Marquez Callaway has been doing a little consistently over the last 2 games. So what that says to me, that says Marquez Callaway can win against those number 1 corners. He's just not getting the looks for whatever reason. I don't know. And it's very bizarre. Deontay Harris, he had a good game today. He went 5 for 50. Deontay Turner, he should have had a touchdown in that game if there wasn't an underthrown ball from Taysom Hill. We're getting to Taysom Hill in a second in that situation. Ty Montgomery, he had a pretty serviceable day. Came up with some clutch catches to extend drives for the New Orleans Saints. We saw a little bit of the tight end production. 1 catch for Adam Trautman for a first down. He had 2, and Juwan Johnson had 2 for 20 and 1 touchdown in the red zone. And that's where I pretty much expect Juwan Johnson to be used. He now has 3 touchdowns on the year. And like I said, that's where I expect Juwan Johnson to be used in that situation. The offensive line was great. I don't have too much to say about the offensive line except for that tight end hold by Adam Trautman. We've seen that story before last year with Taysom Hill throwing a touchdown to Emmanuel Sanders. That was a beauty of a ball. Hit him in stride in the end zone, touchdown. If only Adam Trautman didn't hold there. At the same time, why do you have a tight end going against Leonard Williams in the first place? That doesn't make any sense to me. The play calling is just suspect. In 3rd and 2, deep within your own territory, inside the 30, you put the ball in Taysom Hill's hands on an obvious design run, and you don't have the wherewithal to try to adjust the play. Like the Giants were stacking the box in that moment. They knew it was coming. Like it's one thing if it's deep inside enemy territory and you're threatening to score on the first or even a second. Get that. But Sean Payton has this weird infatuation with Taysom Hill in wrong spots. See, if it were me, I'm gonna put myself in a head coach spot just for a moment here. If that were me coaching the Saints and not coaching that Saints offense, being the offensive coordinator, if I were you, here's how I would use them. I would use them in a tight end as a slot receiver. And if I'm ever going to do a quarterback design run, it would be on first or second down inside enemy territory. I would not even try to run that play inside my own territory, inside your own 30. You're asking for trouble. That's what I would do. Apparently, not our offensive genius, Sean Patrick Payton. Now, Dennis Allen, you're next. Dennis Allen left Paulson and Debo to die out there. After that first big shot down the field from Daniel Jones and John Ross, the Giants knew what they had. They targeted him on key drives, on gotta-have-it situations, and they picked them apart. And in the end, he really showed his rookie color by not communicating with C.J. Gardner-Johnson that left Kenny Galladay wide open. I'm not going to kill Paulson Debo too much because Paulson Debo is a rookie. He's as good as he is. He's going to have plays where he's going to get beat. All right, teams are going to look at Paulson Debo. They're going to target him. It is what it is. Now, what that means for Paulson Debo going forward into next week against the Washington football team remains to be seen. But I would expect Bradley Roby to get some looks on the outside going forward into that game because the Saints are in a gotta-have-it situation of themselves. They have to get above 500 before going into your bye week. And the Washington football team offense consists of a dual-threat quarterback in Taylor Heineke, who can sling it as well as he can run it. You have a really strong offensive line that kept him upright. You've got Curtis Samuel now back in the fold for Washington. You got Terry McLaurin, who I believe is going to be against Marshawn Lattimore. I'm assuming anyway. Logan Thomas is not going to be there. One of the starting Pro Bowl guards for the Washington football team is not going to be there. But for the most part, the pass catchers for the Washington football team are just about on par with New York Giants. And that's not even considering the other pass catchers they got. They got Mims, they got Sims, they've got even De'Ami Brown, the rookie from North Carolina. They have to find a way to get tightened up in the secondary. And I believe Bradley Roby, with those pass catchers, is going to get some looks on the outside. That's where I'm at with that. The defensive line was terrible. No pressure, no sacks. They couldn't get anything going. I said from the get-go, do not sleep on this Giants team. Just because they're without Sterling Shepard or Darius Slayton, you can't underestimate this team. And now they Cam Jordan, once again, no show. Payton Turner looked like he had more pressure than Cam Jordan, and he got nicked up. He nicked up his elbow, so I expect him to not be here. Will not be at practice this week. Resting that elbow injury. Looked like he got nicked up in that last fourth quarter drive. I haven't seen him back out there since then. So it's going to be tough hill sledding for the New Orleans Saints defensive line if Payton Turner is not able to go. I expect them to call up another guy from the practice squad to fill in that role and just hope for the best. Tanner Passignon, he was kind of quiet, but with what he's been doing so far this year, I give him a pass. Can't expect Tanner Passignon to get production every single game. He's gonna have some quiet days. The linebackers outside of Pete Werner was subpar, and yes, that includes Demario Davis. Like Pete Werner was the best linebacker out there for the New Orleans Saints defense. And that's saying a lot because I love Demario Davis. He's one of the best middle linebackers in the National Football League. But for this day, for what they had to do, Pete Werner was great. He had 10 tackles. He had over, I think, 32, had over 32 snaps. He looked outstanding in coverage. Absolutely outstanding. And he played the run just as well. You know, a tight end sweep. Pete Werner was the first man out there, made a great play. Pete Werner, you know, breaking through a block to make a tackle. Absolutely outstanding work by Pete Werner. And that's now back-to-back games where he's looked really good. You know, against New England Patriots, he had 2 targets his way. One was caught, but only allowed 4 yards. That's really good. You know, a quiet, productive day that day. And yesterday, 10 tackles. You know, a few were tackles for loss. Pete Werner was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Couldn't be prouder of him. What that means going forward for Pete Werner remains to be seen. But if he can show that he can maintain his health going forward, that means that he may end up splitting time with Quan Alexander at the will linebacker position, which isn't a bad thing. You know, you got Quan with his speed and his sideline-to-sideline ability, and you got Pete Werner also being a sideline-to-sideline guy, a great play recognition, and a sure-handed tackler. So far, I would say he's a better tackler than Quan is at this stage of his career, even though they're both young. The safeties, Malcolm Jenkins and Marcus Williams, also played well. You know, they played well for what they were given. Malcolm Jenkins had some clutch stops for the New Orleans Saints defense, and they got away with a missed field goal in one of those moments. So shout out to that safety duo. Marshawn Lattimore had an off game. That's first off game of the season. I believe he's going to bounce back against Terry McLaurin. I don't expect him to have back-to-back bad performances at all. I don't expect that out of him. I really don't. But my final thoughts are, Sean Payton, you got to take the training wheels off. You have to take the training wheels off of Jameis Winston. If you want to have any chance of going 3-2, being above 500, going into, it's time to take the training wheels off because that was embarrassing. You go back into the dome after over a month of being away. You're greeted by your fans, and that's the performance you give them. That's the performance you put out there. And you challenge the spotting, waste of timeout. Why? I don't understand why. Why would you do that? You just wasted a timeout. Special teams was not any better. You know, Deontay Harris, for all the good he did on offense, he should have kneeled it down in the end zone. I don't care what anybody has to say. When you have to win a game, the margin for error is very slim. You take it out of the end zone and you burn off more time than necessary. And the result was you had worse starting position than you would have had if you just took the kneel in the end zone and saved time and field position at the same time. That was a perfect opportunity to run a 2 offense. And just bad decision. Bad decision. If Deontay Harris just kneeled right there, the Saints could have been driving down the field for a potential game-winning field goal. It's crazy. It's crazy. Just bad decisions all around. It's Sean Payton's fault. I'm not even going to say anything about it. It's Sean Payton's fault. Even though I'm going to continue rewatching some of this footage and see what went wrong. I'm going to open up the phone lines, man. I'm going to open up the phone lines, and then I'm going to read the comments of everybody. Let you guys call in. Saints 01, I know you've been wanting to come on, Mr. Native, man. So you have the opportunity right now. Call in, get your thoughts in here. And while I read some of these comments, I appreciate everybody checking out the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast. And thank you to everybody who came in yesterday for my birthday live stream. We didn't come away with the W, but it was still a very, very good time. We had a $30 donation yesterday from somebody. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. That's going to go towards improving my content here on this channel. It means the world to me. Uh, I apologize in advance to anybody who's also on my Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp is down right now for whatever reasons. This live stream won't be reached out there, but going forward, I will make a more concerted effort to make sure that doesn't happen. They just have to make sure they get their P's and Q's together. Read a couple comments here before we get into our first caller. Jerry Poor, OG, what's going on, my man? Everything was going well with the collapse in the fourth quarter and overtime. Yeah, the defense was gassed. They found a weak spot in the defense. They kept attacking Paul to the Debo with the speedsters, the shifty guys, and Kadarius Toney and Kenny Golladay. Shout out to J.C. Garrett for calling a good game during in the stretch where it mattered most. Pick it and flick it. What's going on, man? Trying to get over that disrespectful performance from yesterday, but I'm having a hard time. A lot of us are having a hard time getting over that game, me included. That forever is going to be engraved into my brain because of the fact that it was on my birthday. So imagine how I'm feeling right now. Not great. Be kind. What's going on, Be kind? How are you feeling today? I'm feeling pretty all right. I hope you're having a good day too. I appreciate you coming by. Appreciate you checking out the podcast. I hope you're having a blessed day. Much love to you too. Hashtag blame Sean Payton. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and read down here. Read about two more, and then we're going to get into our first caller. B Slaughter. What's going on, B? Somebody needs to cut Taysom Hill throwing like handoff. I agree. I mean, hey, I'm fine with that. If it gets Sean Payton to stop calling those deep shots for Taysom Hill, then I'm for it. He don't need that. He don't need that arm. He don't need the arm. And last one for the caller. Debo was getting torched. The whole defense played poorly today. Daniel Jones get 400 yards. It was a very, very weird day for the New Orleans Saints. I think they played down to their competition, and I don't like that. They lost 2 games to NFC conference opponents, and they can't have that. We are vying for a playoff spot and a tight race in the NFC. It's very competitive right now. It's still open, but it's very, very competitive. The NFC West, we've got like 3 teams most likely going to be vying for that spot. You got Los Angeles, Arizona, and San Francisco still lingering around. You have the NFC North. You've got Green Bay on a resurgence. The NFC East, you got Dallas Cowboys. So Dallas, Green Bay, Los Angeles, and that's 3 right there automatically for division spots. And then the NFC South is still up for grabs. Remains to be seen what's going on, but I assume Tampa Bay is going to be there. So that's 4 teams already. That leaves 3 other spots. And those 3 other spots are hard to can't lose. You just can't. You got Arizona. That's going to be one spot with how they're playing right now. That's right there. And then you got another one, which you're probably going to be vying for between us and Carolina. So that's one spot. And then maybe see what happens down the road. It's like games like this where you need to win, where it's like a game you should win, you have to win those. You have to stack the wins. And losing to conference opponents, not a good look. Let's go ahead and go on here to first caller of the day. You got Saints 01. Native, what's going on, man?
Hey, nothing much. How you doing today?
Another day, another dollar.
No, right?
And nothing changed at the weather. What you got for us, man?
Hey, man, what a disappointment for one. You know what I'm saying? Our defense played horrible. Not only did Sean Payton call some janky calls, I mean, when Winston's on fire, dude, and then you throw in Taysom Hill to throw a huge-ass play. Don't get me wrong. Hey, he might be able to do it. Cool. But, you know what I'm saying? If you would have had Winston in on that play, that was a clear shot to Harris for a touchdown. And I can say that would have been a touchdown if Winston was throwing. So I'm going to hate on Hill a little bit for that. I mean, we all got to, because if he didn't throw that interception, the game probably wouldn't have been how it went, So if we would have had that touchdown, just like McKinney Stills' touchdown, dude, that's his 2nd touchdown that's been brought back due to a penalty. Give my boy a touchdown. You know what I mean? But Dennis Allen, dude, he didn't scheme up no good game plan for any of those speedsters. You know what I mean? I mean, Paulson Adebo, I would have put, help on him because they kept picking on him, and he is a rookie. I would have put Marcus Williams over the top. Help, Adebo out. I think Warner played outstanding. And to say he played better than Davis, that says a lot. You know what I mean? And he's a rookie, so I got a lot of hope for Pete Warner. Those are my takes on the game, pretty much. I really want Skills to get more active, more plays, because every play, like I rewatched the game, dude, and every play that he was on the field, which wasn't very many times, he was wide open. You know what I mean? He was wide open to the play when Jameis Winston threw it to Taysom Hill. I mean, I'm not hating because, we still got the first down. But, Stills was right down, like, another extra 5-10 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, man. John Payton needs to open up the playbook to Winston. Quit being so scared for Winston to throw an interception,
Well, let me explain this real quick. No problems. If you guys weren't here, still had a fun time. I appreciate everybody that came out. But to your point, man, like I was saying earlier, Sean Payton needs to understand that you have to win football games. You can't handicap your quarterback. Jameis went for 12 straight completions before he got taken. He had the ball taken out of his hands, and you favor Taysom Hill in that instance on the interception. It's just poor. It's just poor spots to put Hill in. I don't understand that. Why would you design that for Taysom when Jameis literally showed you he can throw? He had two 50-yard bombs, 50+ yard completions down the field to both Callaway and Stills.
100%.
Like it's obviously Taysom can't throw the deep ball with the accuracy and touch needed. And he's still trying to give Taysom Hill those deep completions. It's very bizarre. It's like he needs to understand when to use them and when not to use them. Period.
Right.
Anybody that's trying to defend that, like, come on, man, knock it off. You're kidding yourself. Like, you can't tell me or any other logical Saints fan that closely watched this game that Sean Payton had any right to put Taysom Hill in those situations.
No, in that situation, 100% no. Maybe like a goal line situation, trying to go for a touchdown, hand it off to him or something. Cool, yeah, whatever. I mean, that's where he thrives. But when we're like game crunching, we need this touchdown. That's not what you do. You don't throw in Taysom Hill trying to make him fucking be the hero, I mean, I love Taysom Hill, dude. He's a badass player, but keep him in his role. And if he does throw, make it like those little short, like, little 5-yard pass to Alvin Kamara or something. Nothing like extreme. That's 20 yards plus, and that dude's not hitting his target,
Absolutely, man.
And when you got Winston hot like that, dude, throwing, what'd you say, 12 back-to-back throws, and then you throw him out to, hey, come to the sideline real quick. That's like killing him. He's like, fuck, I could have this play right now. And he's throwing in Taysom. That right there pretty much lost this game, let's be honest. You know what I mean?
This game, Sean Payton lost the game. Plain and simple, He lost the game. Waco called to stop using him in those situations because it's not going to work out the way you want it to.
100%. That and the D-line, man, the D-line is just really, really disappointing.
All right, man. You got anything else for us before I let you go?
No, that's all I got for you today, bud.
All right, I appreciate you calling in, man. Call in anytime whenever I open up the phone lines. You're always welcome here on the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast. And as always, you know where my social media is.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right. That's Saints on One, guys. Saints on One. Really good, really great dude. Anybody else that wants to call in, feel free. I'll give you a couple minutes here. And for now, I'm gonna read some more of these comments, and then we're gonna talk a little about them. Sean was tripping. He absolutely was. It's still mind-boggling why he's still thinking that he can throw the deep ball with Taysom Hill. I don't understand why Taysom Hill thinks he can still throw the deep ball. Those plays are designed for Jameis Winston. You think Jameis Winston can't do the RPO type of action down the middle of the field? Like, they've been running with Taysom Hill since 2019 in the wild card round against the Minnesota Vikings. They've been running that play in, and it has never worked out. It has never worked out for the New Orleans Saints ever since that day. Because the ball just sails too much. He doesn't have the arm. He doesn't have the accuracy. But he has the arm. He doesn't have the accuracy for it. You have to cut it out. Use him on first downs or maybe in second downs deep within enemy territory where he can't hurt you, where you know you can get at least 3 points on a drive. Like, in those situations, you're hurting your team. Like, your ego just has to be placed aside for the better of the team. Sean Payton's worst enemy is Sean Payton. He gets too deep into his bag and tries to overcomplicate things that doesn't need to be overcomplicated. He's trying to do too much he's trying to do too much or too little or whatever it is. And for a guy that we praise and the media praises as being so-called the best offensive mind in football, stuff like that's gonna come back to haunt you. And now, because of you and your play calling, the Saints are now with 2 losses in the conference. And that's going to hurt down the line when you're trying to vie for a playoff spot. If you don't win the rest of your games, you go at least 13-4. If you can go 13-4, like, okay, maybe you have a chance. Maybe you have a strong chance, but 12-5 is pushing it against a really tough, NFC conference. Like, they are all good. Carolina, Tampa Bay, Arizona, San Francisco, Seattle still hanging around, Dallas, Philadelphia. Yes, I did say Philadelphia. And now the Giants are involved because you let them get back into the conference. You could have taken the win right out of the sales for the long haul. And because of that win, they're going to be doing everything they can to build on this momentum. I'm only here because Facebook and Instagram are shut down. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's going on with Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. They're all down for whatever reason, but hopefully those things get rectified as soon as possible. I wanted to do this on Facebook as well, give my Facebook supporters some love, but it be what it be. John Nolan, what's going on? John, happy to see you. That's because Winston has one of the strongest arms in football, and it's actually underrated. He can make any throw down the field that Mahomes can. He absolutely can. And I think Sean Payton sees that. He said for whatever reason, he just doesn't trust him to make the right reads. The offensive line is playing so much better. I mean, so much better than where they were 2 games ago. Like, they're doing great. And they're giving Winston plenty of time to make the right reads. Like, he's wasting the potential, leading too much on the defense. The defense is not going to win you every game. See the Rams and how they got spanked at home against the Arizona Cardinals. They got spanked at home. I mean, absolutely spanked by Kyler Murray and the offense, and their defense led by Chandler Jones. They got spanked at home. That just shows you they're regarded as one of the best defenses in the league. So if that happens, if that can happen to a team like the Rams, you can't have that absolutely by the New Orleans Saints. Their defense is arguably a little bit better right now, and you're allowing this to happen to you. Come on, Sean. Rose City, shout out to Row, man. Oh, the problem is that Sean Payton thinks he's smarter than the actual game of football. Sometimes that's unfortunately true. I don't understand it. I would never understand it. If we don't fix this problem, we're gonna lose to the Falcons. Look, I can even see the Falcons coming in and laying a smackdown here on us. I don't want to lose to the Falcons. Period. We got another caller here. It's my man, the one and only Big Smoke. What's up, Big Smoke?
Oh shit, yo, what's good with you, bro?
Oh God, you want to
happy belated, man. Even though I already said happy birthday, happy belated.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, for the record, guys, this dude thought I was 17. Homie thought I was 17, man. come on, man. But yeah, if you guys don't know who Smokeless is, in the best in Saints media right now on YouTube, making great highlights, great film discussions over here on his channel. Go check him out. Go show him some love. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'll make sure to post his YouTube channel down in the comments, down in the comment section immediately following this video. One of the best out there, man. With that being said, Big Smoke, what you got for us?
It's hard, bro. Like what? Like that collapse is just like that whole game just felt like even though it wasn't a playoff game, it just felt like a playoff game. And just the return to Ida and you doing that, man. Return from Ida and you doing that, Sean Payton, like nobody's to blame. All right, if I want to put a blame on somebody, it got to be Sean Payton. I mean, defensively, there was a collapse, and who that to Elite? Shout out Elite, man. Y'all go buy his merch, man, for real. He got some really good stuff. Like shout out Elite. But like my fault, I had to get Elite shout out. But like I said, the collapse on this defense. It's crazy. Adebo was getting targeted heavily. And a lot of people got, Adebo's a rookie, so I'm not really too worked on him. I'm not too really mad on him. But there should have been subs. Like, we didn't really use Bradley Roby to, like, Adebo really got targeted a lot. But, man, the defense did play bad. No pressure at all. Cam Jordan was getting his thing worked, man. He was getting worked. Cam Jordan, I believe his days as a pass rusher is gone. I mean, I think it's just purely run stopping for him. I think he's just a run stopping end now. His days as a pass rusher, I don't think it's going to be the same as at least 2019 or 2020. But no pressure at all. I mean, you got John Ross looking like the #1 pick. I mean, who else? There's a lot of things, but from this, Sean Payton, literally, his play calling was terrible. I mean, doing sweeps on 4th downs, subbing Taysom Hill multiple times while ruining the groove of Jameis Winston. I mean, Jameis Winston played an amazing game. He played an amazing game. That sub where after the Kenny Stills touchdown, the momentum. He ruined it completely. I don't know why he subbed in Taysom. Like the times where he subbed, he doesn't know the right time to sub in or manage Taysom Hill. I believe he even did that when Drew Brees was around, where Drew Brees were just going off, and then you just had him subbing Taysom Hill in these situations where you got a hot hand in Drew Brees or Jameis Winston. I mean, it's multiple times. Like, this Taysom Hill package is dead as obvious at this point. Like, it's more than obvious. Once you put Will Clapp in there or as like the defense is going to read that out. It's going to be a draw to the right. Like, it's flat out predictable. It's flat out predictable. So I don't really get what he's doing with these Taysom plays. Even though Taysom played a solid game as far as a runner, 2 touchdowns on the ground. I really appreciate that. But as far as like QB standpoint, there's no reason why he should be taking a hot hand from Jameis Winston multiple times. And I believe did he play the whole third quarter? Not the whole third quarter, majority of the third quarter.
He played the majority of the third quarter. It's just they took the ball out of Winston's hands for a full quarter's length of time.
Yeah, like I said, I like Taysom Hill as a gadget player, like as a you put him at tight end or as a fullback or him doing stuff like that, taking a hot hand out of Jameis Winston's hand, especially when he's at a point where he's doing 12 completions in a row. I mean, like, man. Like, that play was pointless, but that deep ball that Kenny Stills, like, that was amazing. That was beautiful. I really like what I saw from that. But yeah, that's my analysis. Sean Payton play calling was terrible. I don't get where he got this obsession with Taysom Hill, but man, I don't know.
Well, hopefully Sean Payton can get it right as the Saints get ready to go on the road to take on the Washington football team.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be an easy game. I don't expect the Saints to win that game, honestly. I don't have any confidence that they can win that game against well, I called it last week. You can't sleep on the Giants just because they're without Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton. I called it on TJ Jones' podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be a close game. I had that as an early prediction that they could lose this game in the first place to the Giants because it's Joe Judge we're talking about. I just don't have any confidence that they can go on the road to try to defend against someone like Taylor Heineke, who can scramble out of the pocket as well as anybody, and the pass catchers of Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, and De'Ami Brown, not to mention the tight ends of Mims and Sims. I just don't see it happening. Maybe they prove me wrong. Yeah, but confidence is a all-time low at this point. We'll see what happens. But Big Smoke, as always, man, your calls are appreciated. Your calls are respected. Call in anytime, and hopefully we can do more collabs, man. Need to get that going.
Most definitely. Hold on, I just got to shout out a couple people. Shout out Be Kind. Be Kind. Shout out Be Kind, Rose City. You know, a lot of people expect streaming. Shout out to y'all. Oh yeah, I'm about to drop the Pete Werner highlights literally after this. About to drop Pete Werner, Jawan Johnson, Deontay Harris. Just let me know in the comments. Be active in my community posts. Who else should I drop? But yeah, that's my updates. That's my updates.
Everybody who wanted to check out Pete Werner, go check out them highlights that's going to be dropping on his channel. Pete Werner was one of the best, if not the best, linebacker in that group yesterday. Very much looking forward to seeing that and rewatching that film on him, seeing what he can really improve on. And the fact that he can improve, right, it just makes his ceiling is that much higher. Very much looking forward to that. 10 tackles in his second career start. It's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. All over the place. But Big Smoke, I appreciate you, man. I gotta let you go.
All right, who that, bro?
Who that, man? Who that? Yo, Big Smoke. Big Smoke is one of the day ones here on the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast. We're going to read a couple more here. We're going to go ahead and get up on out. Get ready to watch them highlights dropped by Big Smoke. B Slaughter says we need a better backup QB. I believe Ian Book is a pretty reliable backup QB. For what he did in his time in Notre Dame, I think he can do what's asked of him, and a little more so. He can run the football. Reginald, or saw this earlier. I wanted to respond to. He says, "What's up, Mr. Aaron spoke? Penalty flag from Troutman. Lack of using Kenny Stills and Deontay Harris down the field. The kicking game. Roches is not it. Taysom Hill interception and D. Look, that Adam Troutman hold. It was unfortunate, but it was the only thing he can do against a 300-plus pound defensive lineman and Leonard Williams, who's coming with bad intentions. I don't understand why you're having a tight end against a defensive lineman like that in the first place. That's just a mismatch waiting to happen. All Chopper could do there was hold and pray. Just hold and pray. We don't need no run stopper. We got David Onyemata for that. We need someone that can get sacks and pressures, not pressure sacks. Well, David Onyemata can get sacks and stop the run. Like, he's that good of a defensive lineman, and his presence is being missed. He's being missed on that defensive front. You know, David Onyemata is right now the most valuable lineman, and that's why he got the extension last season. So they just have to get the 3-2 and win against Seattle on Monday. Then they'll be in good shape to prepare for Tampa Bay. Young Smoke was bringing that fire. Yeah, man. Demon, you called it on a T-shirt. I was there when you did. Yeah, man. Look, I know a bad vibe when I feel one, and that was a bad vibe. How would y'all feel if we traded Cam for a tight end? Wouldn't be a bad decision. Now the contract for Cam Jordan is a little awkward to really do that, but I doubt they'll do it. I doubt they'll do it either way. Spec Streaming says Shotman has been one of the biggest disappointments. I agree. Anyone heard when he's coming back? He's not. I think he's coming back. If I had to put a timetable on, he's supposed to be 8 weeks, right? 8 weeks. I would say he's coming back after the Tampa game. I would say he's coming back after the Tampa game. So if they can hold on to after Tampa Bay, then they have a shot. They have a shot. And I think Jameis can win that game against Tampa. I think they have a really good shot of winning that game against Tampa because their secondary is banged up right now. I mean, very banged up. Even if they weren't banged up, the secondary was suspect to begin with. So we'll just see what happens. The offensive line is playing well, so I can see them holding up against Jason Pierre-Paul and Joe Tryon-Shoyinka and the blitz from Devin White and all of them. I think they can hold up to really open up that passing game to attack that secondary. It's possible. They have to get Alvin Kamara established in the passing game again. This is probably the worst showing for Alvin Kamara in the passing game this season. And the fact that he's not being featured as much is a head scratcher. But he's been really good in the ground game so far this year. He might have his first 1,000 yard rushing year or rushing season. Let's go here and read a couple more. Reginald asks, does Sean Payton need to be on the hot seat if the team underperforms this year? I think he does. I think he does, but will he? Doubt it. Sean Payton's delivered 4 back-to-back winning seasons for the Saints. 4 back-to-back winning seasons for the Saints. He's delivered them to the NFC Championship. He's delivered them to 2 divisional games and a wild card game. We'll see what happens. We got rain coming down. Let's read 2 more. Then we're going to go ahead and get up out, read some comments I haven't read yet. City Deuce need not say nothing else about somebody being in trouble. It came back to bite him. He's eating crow for that one, but City Deuce, that was an off game for him. City Deuce is always a guy that talks and walks, so I expect him to have a bounce back game next week. I'm not too worried about City Deuce. Quan 15, we need our missing pieces. Is a huge job off our number ones. I agree with that. It was really another one here. The Black Pearl. First time seeing you. What's going on, Black Pearl? Happy to see you here on the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast. They say, want to be Juice Boys, better own up to it. They better. That was your first game owning up to the name Juice Boys, and you're whatever's in that juice, you need to put it down or change it out or something. That was terrible. Read one more here and get up out of here because of the rain. Damian Green, he says, hey, Aaron, I believe the tight ends will be okay, but MT and Traquan Smith come back because when they come back, it will be opened up for Marquez Callaway, Johnson Harris, and Kenny Stills. Take the pressure up the young tight ends. They will excel. While I agree with that, I also think it's because of Nick Van Eck. Jawan Johnson's not a blocking tight end. He doesn't have the frame. He doesn't have the size for that. He's more of a receiving tight end. He's a flex tight end. That's why he was there in the first place. He's not built for blocking. So Adam Troutman, until Nick Van Eck comes back, he's having to handle the blocking duties for the New Orleans Saints. And it's unfortunate. So we'll have to see what Adam Troutman looks like when Nick Van Eck is back in the fold and handling the blocking duties for the New Orleans Saints, because not looking very good for Troutman. He's definitely been a disappointment. I will say that. He only had 1 catch for, I believe, 6 yards, maybe. But that's it. That's all for this episode of Breakdown Podcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat who came in and checked out today's episode. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I'm trying to reach 1.3K subscribers still. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do so and hit that share button and share me around to your fellow Saints fans and non-Saints fans. And let's just continue to grow the community. Make sure to check out my community tab here on the YouTube channel, because I will always be posting updates and news and rumors you guys need to be up to date about regarding the New Orleans Saints and the NFC South as a whole, and how it directly impacts the Saints going forward. Make sure you hit up my Instagram if you haven't already, at @WhoDatDavis, and check out my Twitter at RealAaronDavis. Those things will be in the description of my prior videos. It won't be in this one because I'm still pretty upset. So, just check all that out. That's it. That's all. I will see you guys for the next one later this week when we talk about keys to victory for the Saints going up against the Washington football team. And as always, if you don't know, you will know. But over here, we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. I'll check you guys out